As we all know, in Singapore, hotel is minimum 1 day stay, service apartment 1 week. Imagine if you rent a studio, you will need to open a utility account, internet account, you will need to clean up yourself, change a light bulb.
I thought you priced a bit more.
We even have sauna, ice bath.
I think you can only be as good as you are if you have a very good team supporting you. They need to be proud. That translates to your offering to the client.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Beyond The Boardroom, a series where we get to know more about companies listed on the SGX and their key appointment holders. I'm Natalie Ong, Equity Analyst with CGS International, and with me is CEO of CGSI Singapore, Mr. Malcolm Khoo. In this episode, we turn the spotlight on Coliwoo, one of the largest co-living accommodation operators in Singapore. Coliwoo operates 3,000 keys, over 25 properties, and has a 20% share of the Singapore co-living market. Our special guest for this episode is Mr. Kelvin Lim, CEO of Coliwoo Holdings Limited. Hi Kelvin, how are you?
Hi,
Thank you for
Natalie.
being here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so today we are at Coliwoo Orchard, a co-living accommodation located in Orchard Road with 411 keys. Like most of its properties, Coliwoo Orchard boasts shared amenities like a gym, pool, and lounge for residents to work, mingle, and unwind. Kelvin, this is a beautiful property. Clean,
you.
welcoming, yet somehow cozy and fun with a relaxed vibe. Tell us a little bit about this property.
Okay, so this building was formerly Fraser Residence. Coliwoo took over the lease of the property back then in 2022. We did a change of use to service apartment, did a major renovation, and now we have 411 rooms.
I certainly can see myself living here. Coliwoo Orchard reflects strong design philosophy and purpose. And to better understand how all of this came to life, Kelvin, can you tell us a bit about Coliwoo and your journey here?
Coliwoo is a co-living real estate as a service. Coliwoo identifies old and underutilized buildings across the island in Singapore. And then we optimize the space and create co-living suites. Our target customers are generally students and expats studying and working in Singapore. We also have a handful of short-term customers, the tourists that come to Singapore for leisure, foreigners that come to Singapore on project work, or even MICE activities. And that constitutes our short stay customer base, as well as Singaporeans who stay with us long-term as well as short-term. We typically operate in service apartment and hotel properties so that we have flexible of lease duration. As we all know, in Singapore, hotel is minimum 1 day stay, service apartment 1 week, as opposed to residential space, which is a minimum of 3 months. Actually, does a lot of community events, members together, get to know each other. I would say settle down fast in Singapore environment.
Maybe you can share with us when you look at an old property. For many people, they will see there's an old building, very little potential. But from your point of view, there's a lot of potential. So what goes on in between when you look at an old property?
So take Coliwoo Orchard, for example. It used to be operated by Fraser Residence, and they target the customers of the hospital diagonally across us. They were operating under a residential status. So when we have the opportunity to master lease the property, we actually applied to URA to do a conversion to service apartment, where we are allowed to do a weekly stay. So service apartment is akin to a hotel operation, where you need to comply with stringent fire safety regulations. On top of the interior design, on top of the space optimization, we do also have to spend a lot of money on to comply with the regulations at that point of time.
So Kelvin, among all your properties, which property is actually your favorite? On which property you think that after going through a conversion, brings you the most joy?
I think I like all the properties that we optimize, but particularly I would think that Coliwoo Midtown, which is opening very, very soon, one of the very interesting property that we have converted to service apartment. So it used to be an old office building where the building is squarish. If you notice, hotels or service apartment, they like to build on a rectangular and longish shape, because all you need to do is to have a center corridor and then your rooms on the left and right. To space optimize from a office building requires more work. We managed to overcome the challenge, convert the space into nice service apartment units.
Could you use AI to actually optimize some of your projects?
I think AI can give us some perspective, but at the end of the day, we still need to check. We cannot just take AI's work as the final answer and then we just adopt it.
It also requires a lot of creativity because you're dealing with different spaces all the time. It's not like a freshly built property. But how do you keep up with being creative all the time?
I would say that being creative is not born into me, but over the years we learn on the job. And I think I like to travel most of the time and look at how people live. For example, when I travel, in the past I would stay in hotel. Nowadays I would stay in service apartment or even Airbnb to discover the different design.
Find some inspiration.
And get inspiration.
Yeah.
I think nowadays to understand how people live, how people appreciate their life is very important.
I was looking through your catalogue and I saw that you actually have one really cool property. It's the Bukit Timah fire station.
Yes.
So it's like you converted a fire station into co-living.
Correct.
Wow.
That used to be a fire station where the fire engine is parked, as well as the office of the commander and the fireman, plus living quarters of the fireman. It's along Upper Bukit Timah Road.
Oh.
So we converted the whole premises into service apartment on the upper floors. Then the lower floors, we have retail, restaurants, nature workshops. Of course, the current main fire station is being retrofitted into F&B outlet.
So that's a great example of adaptive reuse. Now let's talk about the people who actually live in these spaces. The co-living sector underwent rapid growth in Singapore since 2018, and it looks like it's here to stay. Occupancy is in the 90+% region. Tell us a little bit about your clientele. Who are they and why do they choose co-living rather than rent private residences?
I think they choose co-living because of number one, affordability. Second is flexibility. And third is peace of mind. We mark our price very much to the nearby studio units rental rates in the vicinity. So imagine if you rent a studio, you would need to put in buy something for the studio. You will need to open a utility account. You will need to open an internet account, and you will need to clean up yourself. And not to mention, if something spoil, like change a light bulb, you have to do it yourself, or your landlord will resolve it for you. But if you come to Coliwoo, all this is resolved. We are fully fitted, fully furnished, fully serviced. You pay a price equivalent to the rental rate of a nearby studio unit, and everything is covered for you. But more importantly is, you don't need to sign a 1 or 2 year tenancy agreement. You can just take it out on a monthly basis. Why? Because students do go back to their country for holidays. The characteristics of expats working in Singapore, if they are away for more than a month, they will return the room, store their bags with us, and when they are back to Singapore, they take up the room again. But being a service apartment and hotel status, we can take in short stays. So then we use the short stays to fill up the gaps. And therefore, we have a high occupancy. So to our customer is convenience, affordable, flexible. And on top of that, there are other amenities for them to enjoy. More importantly, is a place for them to mingle and know more people.
So I mean, you're priced so competitively, equivalent to just a regular like condo rental. Wow, okay, that's interesting. I thought you priced like a bit more. So beyond just filling rooms, co-living is also about creating community. And that brings me to something that many residents highlight. One of the frequently cited benefits about living in co-living accommodations is the networking aspect, bringing together entrepreneurs, people in similar industries or backgrounds or with similar interests. So what kind of events have you organized and how has the turnout been for such events?
We typically organize events targeting the emotions and wellness of our tenants. For example, talk about emotions, it can be festive season events. So we celebrate the various New Year's. This gives eye-opener to foreigners to know how do we celebrate our New Year's differently. Wine appreciation, heritage walk in the historical area, and many more. There's singing events. But more importantly is the wellness events. For example, we organize team Zumba, hydrofit classes, gym activities. Fitness related. In our new project in Coliwoo Midtown, we have a bigger gym. We even have sauna and ice bath facility. So all these respond to the wellness aspect of our tenants.
But it's usually like across properties, is it? So it's like anyone from any property can just sign up together, or is it like specific to that one property?
We have both. But nowadays, we try to bring our tenants from other 20 over properties together.
That's a very good idea. You know, it's like a natural like dating zone.
We do have like Coliwoo Orchard. Recently, there was a former tenant that came back and requested to use one of the room to propose to the wife. They actually know each other here.
Wow.
We do have these kind of activities.
I see. Wow, okay, that's interesting.
So that's why you always say the differentiator in Coliwoo is always the community event.
Yes.
So I think now we witness one of a very important milestone.
Correct.
Yes.
And since community is such a big part of the experience, I'd like to bring the both of you into on this one. Malcolm, have you visited or stayed at a co-living accommodation before? Can you picture yourself living here? And what would be your favorite part about the property or lifestyle?
You see, in most of the settings that we are used to, when we book some Airbnb, it's quite similar to a co-living concept. I like it quite a fair bit because most of the times you may not need to check in. You can go anytime. And some of the ones that they enable with some tech, you can just check in anytime.
Leave
just
it a
press
pin
the access code, pin code. Someone comes to clean the place and you just check out and everything's paid for. So it's quite seamless. Especially if you are traveling with a family, you want a small kitchenette, you want a small living room, more akin to an apartment. I think that's the growing trend.
Okay, so what about you, Kelvin? What would be your favorite part about the co-living property or the lifestyle?
In fact, whenever there's a new property that comes on board, I will try to stay there.
Okay.
So for example, the latest property that I stayed is Coliwoo Arab Street.
Oh, okay.
So Arab Street is a historical street. I mean, it's also our SOP whenever we open a new project. Myself, I'll try to stay. Also, we allow our staff to bring their family members to trial the room. So through trialing out the room, we will know that, what are the things that are lacking. For example, it can be very small thing, lack of a shelf to put my phone when I'm charging it next to the socket, or lack of hooks for me to hang my bags or hang my clothes. So small things like this, you will only be able to know after you stay.
Live there,
yeah, whether aircon is too cold, blowing directly on the bed. So there's a lot of details that you can then improve when people start to stay. But so the last thing is you want your customer to be the guinea pig. So usually we'll ask our staff to help us identify, and they're also very happy because it's like a family outing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a win-win situation.
Yes.
So Natalie, you can sign up to be the trial.
Yeah, I can be the mystery shopper, not mystery.
welcome.
Okay, thank you. Hearing your personal impressions really highlights what co-living has to offer. And now from a business standpoint, the co-living market is becoming more competitive. So how does Coliwoo maintain its edge?
For us, we still keep to our principle of making our place affordable, convenient, and as well as flexible, with a focus of emotions and wellness of our customers. So this has always been our principle. Location is very important. Providing a good service is also very important. For example, in Coliwoo, is by standard, we provide cleaning. By default, it's once a week. But if you want, you can pay more to have a higher frequency of cleaning. Yeah, we have our in-house maintenance team. So whenever we see something not correct, during the once a week routine cleaning
/ inspection,
we will go in and quickly fix it up. So that will give us a speed to market when the room becomes available again. There are many co-living operators in Singapore. Most of them do not clean their room because they operate out of residential setting where they rent residential unit and then they sublet the rooms. That's what we strive to do, more like a hospitality service.
So you've clearly established a very strong and distinct brand. And that brings me to your leadership philosophy, Kelvin. So what is your personal philosophy when it comes to leadership and managing such a large portfolio?
I think constant communication with the key appointment holders is important. The same treatment for the key appointment holders to treat the downstream staff is also important. So it is more or less a culture within the company that we keep communication very open. So currently we have 3,200 rooms in Singapore. We have a target of increasing our room count by 800 to 1,000 rooms per year, 10,000 keys by 2030. We are keeping a lookout on the region to see which are the market that we can expand overseas. We are also in the process of transitioning to using AI to analyze our data so that we can better know how our customers behave.
And Malcolm, while Coliwoo has been transforming its sector, CGS International has also achieved a milestone recently. Congratulations on achieving #1 market share on SGX in 2025, a significant milestone for the company. Looking back on this achievement, what has been your personal philosophy when it comes to leadership, and how has this shaped the way that you guide your teams and make decisions?
I think you can only be as good as you are if you have a very good team supporting you, and also the clients. It has to be binary. So to me, whether you are #1 market share, you're the largest market share, it's a secondary result. I think that the primary building block for any organization is you have to get the team right. They need to want to work for you. They need to be proud, to work for the organization, and then that translate to your offering to the client. I think if we can basically work together, I think you do very, very well in the market. But that has to sustain.
So to wrap up today's session on a creative note, if you could design your dream Coliwoo room or property with no constraints, what cool or quirky feature would you add, Kelvin?
Wow, I've never thought of this before. Perhaps every room has got a sizable balcony with a ice bath and sauna corner. Yeah, I think that would be very interesting.
You will see, right, your hotel fully booked during High Rocks, all the gym rats, all the gym expats will be there. How about you, Malcolm? If you could design a cool theme room, what kind of space would you create?
I think I like natural neutral colors. I think the 3000 Kelvin's lighting, it's perfect for me.
Warm light,
Yeah,
warm
warm
color,
light.
yeah.
I think those are the interesting features for me. As I said, security is very important. I mean, we don't talk to me about ideal property. Security to me is paramount. Cleanliness is paramount.
Okay, thank you so much for being here with us today, Kelvin. And thank you so much, Malcolm. And that is it for this episode of Beyond the Boardroom. Stay tuned for exclusive interviews and behind-the-scene insights.